I've got 11 things you can change to this red bronze farm to make it more overpowered. Don't use timed input-output chests, use randomizers. Now you might be wondering, why use randomizers? You said in the first video to use timed input-output chests. Now, number one is that timed input-output chests have gone up in price and are really expensive, and there was pretty much no use since you would have 8 of them at the same time, where you can only have 4 randomizers and be saving a lot of money. And the problem with the last one was a lot of despawn, since you would go ahead and spawn a bunch of coal what was not needed, what went ahead and went into these things and just sat there because it was too much coal being processed through. Now when you use randomizers, all you have to do is put 2 tier 2 conveyors here, you do a randomizer, then you do a tier 2 turn conveyor, and then you do a normal conveyor, and then it just filters down like normal, and that is how you do this little system here. And it just prevents despawn overall, and makes it so you're not losing any copper or gold while the farm is running. And now leading on to the next one is to go ahead and upgrade all your coal totems to level 10 efficiency, so then you can go ahead and have some coal going through, but not a ton of coal going through, and then it will feed the right amount into the smelters, what then will not go ahead and clog up the smelters. Now over time it will clog up, so that leading on to the next one is to go ahead and clear out the coal of every single smelter before you go ahead and AFK. And the reason why you do this is so then you don't have much coal in here, so then it can go ahead and reprocess and last for longer. Now the next one, what I did in the video is I made everything glass, so all of the tubes and everything around here was glass. Now you can see that I actually went ahead and changed it, and you might be wondering why. Well, the reason was things would come flying down here, go down here, and then straight into this tube. And now because it hit the tube, this metal tube, so hard, it would glitch through the glass, the ore, and go flying through. What was losing ores and making the process so much slower for me making red bronze. Now, you should go ahead and change it all back to just any normal block if you did use glass. And now, one of the major things that you should go ahead and change is adding stairs right in this tube at the bottom before it hits the conveyor, since if something is falling from this height and hitting a conveyor directly on, it is just going to glitch through and go underneath. Now what I've gone ahead and done is if I go over there, I've added stairs into the tube. So basically you go ahead and had one straight down, and then you add a little compartment off to the side so it hits here, goes down again, and then goes and hits another stair, then finally goes into here. Now this is a good method since it doesn't slow down the ore and it keeps it going without it glitching out. Now as you can see, when I don't have the walls here, it is glitching and going slow, but usually it hits this, quickly goes down there, and then finally ends up in the filter conveyor. Now you should go ahead and do something like this so you aren't losing any ores, and yeah, that's pretty much one of the reasons. Don't fill the filter conveyor up with anything. Now a lot of people got so confused by this. It is simply just a randomizer that goes 3 ways. It is literally just that. You put nothing in it, no ores, because people were putting gold going this way and then copper going the other way, and then the middle one would just be broken. The first one would be broken because nothing would go that way because there was no other object. Now that would basically mean these 3 smelters wouldn't be working. So you do not want to go in and put anything in there. So you just leave it empty and it works as a randomizer, and it just goes 3 separate ways. Like, it is pretty much as simple as that. Now don't go ahead and use tier 1 conveyors for turns, since ores can get stuck on them, and that is why you see here how I am using a tier 2 conveyor, not a tier 1, since it goes ahead and makes it go faster and it doesn't go ahead and get stuck. Now that is a pretty simple one. Now just don't use tier 1 conveyors in general, pretty much. Now another important one, what I don't see a lot of people doing, is testing the tunnels for your ores. Now, as you can see, I've got a bunch of tunnels here, and it is so easy for you to place a stair upside down or a block in the wrong place and block that whole tunnel. Now, a lot of people don't go ahead and check these. Now, I usually go ahead and grab gold since it makes a bunch of red bronze, but I don't have gold on me at the moment since I'm on the save slot, so I'll go ahead and just drop coal. And now if I see a bunch of coal coming through, then I'll know. So if I quickly just spam drop a crap ton of coal, reset, and then go ahead and unblock this, if I see a bunch of coal come through here, I know that's working. So basically, that's how I go ahead and test them. I will go ahead and do that for literally every single tube and double check. And then if none of the coal comes through, I'll go ahead and go through the tube with a free cam. And I'll just double check and see if anything's stuck. And if I see something, I'll go ahead and fix it. Yeah, you need to go ahead and check these tubes since it's so easy to place an upside down stair and then completely wreck the farm. So go ahead and check your tubes before you actually AFK. Use less blocks for less lag, since if you're farming this, you don't want lag, since it's going to go ahead and mess up your whole farm and cause a bunch of despawn, what is really bad. Now, just basically use the least amount of blocks as possible by cutting off little corners here, but yeah, try and use as least blocks as possible for less lag so you can get the most red bronze. Now, it's a pretty straightforward one, but a lot of people get confused. Don't build this on any other save slot. Build it on its separate save slot. Don't have any other farms, any other thing on this. Like, literally, this is just meant for one save slot. Otherwise, you're going to cause way too much lag and so much despawn. So you're going to make this on a brand new save slot or a new account because you don't want to go ahead and cause a bunch of lag and despawn, because that's what a lot of people do. They build it on their main slot with their shop, and that is not very good. I mean, if you want to go in and do it and lose a bunch of red bronze, then feel free to. Now, some people go ahead and use input-output chests instead of ice, and this is a recommended one if you want to. Now, what you have to be careful with this is because some people will just place the input-output chest, and I get that's fine, but what you're going to have to go ahead and do is go ahead and check on what ore is up here, right? So if we go ahead and go up here, so we've got, let's say, gold. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you cache it here, but I'm going to go down to the input-output chest to show you what you're going to put in the input-output chest to make this work. So if I reset and I show you on one of these, basically what you're going to do is say the coal is the ore. So you're going to put the ore in the first slot, and then you're going to fill it up with a bunch of junk. This could be grass, this could be stone, this could be anything. This is basically so it doesn't fill up these slots, but then let me show you by dropping a piece of coal in here. It is instantly going to travel through, and it is going to have no thought of like going into these slots. So basically it is just going to prevent despawn. So it is pretty good if you want to add these, and especially if it is a far away one like this over here, you could go ahead and add one of those little things there and use ice for the rest of them, and it will go ahead and prevent despawn. But yeah, that is all the 11 tips I have for you guys. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments and I will go ahead and answer them. But yeah, go ahead and click on this video right up here if you want to actually go ahead and build this farm.